Good afternoon, everyone. This is Matt over at MilestoneCapitalGrowthPortfolio.com, and today is Monday, November 2nd, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I wanted to get a couple videos out ahead of time before the market closes. I wanted to take a first look at Apple here, and then we're going to look at FEYE. But Apple had some blowout numbers for earnings. Great job there. They really were solid. But earnings, it pulled back down and then just bounced right back up again and going strong. We've had 3 days here in the same area and looking to get this 200-day moving average next. But it is just cruising along the upper Bollinger Band, doing really well. Volume isn't, amazing today, but it is okay and keeping it in the green area. So, up a buck 28. So I think Apple's going to do really well as long as it holds this trend line here. And if you want to go longer, you can pull it this way and pull it off the bottom of that and run it here because it's pretty much where it is right now if you want to keep tighter stops. But we have this 130 gap that's really important if it can continue to the upside. But your relative strength index is getting a little bit high, and your stochastics is just hanging out up here and can cross at any time. But as for keeping your stops, I'd just be diligent, because it can go from upper to lower Bollinger Band at any given point here. But you want to make sure that you have some kind of trend line in place or something, whether it's the 100-day moving average as your stop or the middle Bollinger Band or the 50. Just have something. But it is cruising along the top relative strength index. We'll move this up to 14 to get a regular view here, and it hasn't hit 70 yet, so it's just tooling along right along the top here. But once it breaks the 200, I think the 200 will be support, and then it'll probably come up and get this 130 pretty quick. But it's looking really good. If you check it out on a weekly time frame, you could see here that let's get rid of this here so we don't have, there we go. Okay, you can see here that broke the 50-day moving average. It's doing really well. You could keep this as long as you have some kind of trend line in place, like I was saying before. You have that stability, maintaining that upside. But it's looking really good. Had some great volume last week. Was starting out this week a little bit light. Relative strength index is a 53. Moved half its move already. So upper Bollinger Band here on the weekly is at 130. So look for this to continue. And but remember, I said keep your stops here. You get the 50-day moving average breaking on the weekly, which is outstanding. But very bullish, moving ahead over that middle Bollinger Band for the weekly also. So keep an eye on Apple, looking very strong. All right, FEYE. This one here, I'm going to start on the weekly. And you can see a beautiful double bottom here, but stochastic has not crossed yet. A little bit of volume, nothing spectacular. A couple of things I want you to notice is one here is going to be the relative strength index is turning up from here, and this is, like I said, it is on the weekly. You do have this downtrend line in place, so that's going to be your resistance. But even to get up here, it's going to be 31 from 27.7. They do have earnings this week, so but this could be the bottom. This could be a bottom for them, and as I was evaluating this, I noticed that you have multiple bottoms here, and it's pretty much held last time when it popped all the way up to the middle Bollinger Band. So potentially this will be some heavy resistance right here, and then your middle Bollinger Band up here, 36, 38, 39, somewhere in that area too. So keep an eye on these for the earnings. But you can see on the weekly, it's still in that downtrend pattern. All we have to do is break that line, and then we won't be, and then we can come up here and get this gap. That is a gap. So we'll take a quick look at the daily here. Excuse me. And the daily is the same way. You can draw this trend line. It's going to be a little bit tighter here, only because it's a daily time frame. So you'll see, a good push here. If it gets over this and comes up here to the 50, you're looking at 33. But it looks pretty good. Here's the gap up here. There's a little, I think it's on the 30-minute chart, but there is one right here. Excuse me. So keep an eye on this one here. It looks pretty good. Middle Bollinger Band again is at 29.61. Your trend line's right above that at probably, sitting here by the time it gets there, 30.88, and then you have the 50-day and the upper Bollinger Band at 33. Those are your key areas here. But you can see it's really just been channeling to the downside. So there's no aggressive move to the upside until this breaks. Typically, we'll still stay in this downtrend pattern, but you have a nice scalp trade setup here and potential to break depending on earnings. All right, this is Matt over at MilestoneCapitalGrowthPortfolio.com. Have yourself a fantastic night. And if you want to join us in live chat tomorrow, make sure you do so. It's a great time. Plenty of people with great picks. All right, have yourself a good night.